Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Getting a lot of nice comments on the text line. I want to know where they can download the Kendrick Lamar Disturbed mashup. I'll get it up on SoundCloud after the show. But if you missed it, we'll play it again, I think, in Music Entertainment News like in an hour.
That's where we do it every day, 8:45.
So right in there, we'll get it into you again. I can't play it again right now. We have to get to this. But thank you. Also, there was a comment. Where can I find that Disturbed mashup other than my nightmares, Cody checked in and said. It's the mashup you didn't ask for, but it could have been the halftime show. But let's get to Valentine's Day and, relationships in general, because that's what this week involves a lot. And some people, Lauren, our midday girl, I know she really despises Valentine's Day, does an anti-Valentine's Day. But this is time for love. I think you should embrace it and go for it. And
I hate when people are like, oh, it's like a corporate thing. It's like, can we just have fun? Like, who cares? Just go out and have a fun time. It's nice.
And it probably is a corporate thing, but that's okay.
Fine. I don't care. Like, it's still like, let's just have a fun day. What's the big deal?
You love Valentine's Day, right?
Yeah, because there's nothing, even like, okay, and like even single people will do like Galentine's Day, or I love getting like cute stuff for my kids. They freak out or what. It's just fun. It's like, we're not the kind of couple that spends like these huge, grandiose Valentine's Day. You just do like something cute and little. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's just fun.
I'm fine whatever you do, if you're into it or not. But this relates because this post went viral of one of our crew members of a woman that put this up talking about being on their honeymoon and what happened. And so here is the post, and we want your opinions on this. It says, my husband is making us fly home from our honeymoon one day after being there one day because he found out I sent a simple goodbye text on the morning of our wedding. It was a goodbye text, for goodness sake, to an ex. Now, they weren't dating, obviously, but it was an ex and saying, look, I'm married now, goodbye. So she says, not a drop everything and meet me at the altar text. I need to say goodbye to have closure on the unmarried part of my life. So she must have went through and did this to a whole bunch of exes. Please tell my sensitive/nostalgic girlies understand. I'm sure they understand, she said. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm looking for your takes. Up top, so basically texting an ex on the honeymoon saying goodbye, right in that situation.
On the wedding day, not even the
honeymoon.
honeymoon.
Or the wedding day. Coming home from the honeymoon early because he was mad. Kenzie, what do you think?
Trash. Here's the thing.
Wait, who's trash?
Like, doing that is trash. It's like, I totally understand needing closure. You can do that. You need to do that before. I think on your wedding day, you should be focused on the vows that you're about to make, that person. Getting closure on the wedding day, I can't even imagine. It would really upset me if my husband was thinking about somebody else at the beginning of that day. I think that prior to the wedding day, you needed to have gotten closure. Wedding day, honeymoon, etc. Now, it's not the worst thing. Like, at least it wasn't an I miss you text, I suppose. But it's like, that's lame. Like, on the wedding day, that's what you were thinking of.
I think in a way, I'm not going to say project that I miss you, but if you're doing that on the wedding day, you're kind of saying I miss you.
You are, because like you woke up and you're about to marry somebody that you supposedly love and want to spend your life with. That shouldn't even hit your mind. Like, that's a weird thing to have pop in your head that day. You should be thinking of the commitment and the person, and there's a lot of details, especially as the woman that day. I can't even imagine having time to think about an ex. They already got enough of my time. They're an ex for a reason. That's wild.
Case, what do you think?
So just to be clear, this woman wakes up on her wedding day.
Yeah.
And she sends a text closing the door on a past relationship because she is, in her own words, a sensitive and nostalgic girly. She sends a text that says, thank you for everything we had, but by the way, I'm getting married. This chapter of my life is over, and we're supposed to be mad at her? All she did was move on. All she did, there is nothing more valuable in life than closure. We so rarely get that in the moments that we need it. And this woman is so kind that she took time out of her wedding day to get closure and give closure to a scorned lover before she walked down the altar. And I'm supposed to believe that she's the bad guy in all of this? Her husband has to be the least secure guy there is to fly home from a honeymoon early because of this.
Now, that's weird, because I would want to stay on vacation. Because I'm not going to let this man end my vacation. Okay, maybe different rooms, but I am staying on my trip. That I would not have done.
That's on
now
brand.
Now we're both punished. This sucks.
That's right. Now, you don't think, when she sent that text, she was dreaming of a scenario that might have said, him texting back, don't do it. I still love you.
Period. Because let me tell you something, because this happened to me.
Oh, jeez. Good Lord. Breaking news. Another Kenzie dating story.
Wait.
Go ahead.
My ex, who got the girl pregnant when we were together and then tried to convince me he didn't cheat on me because we were fighting the night he got her pregnant. And I was like, that doesn't mean you're allowed to sleep with other people, but whatever.
You guys were on a break.
I remember that guy. I like that guy.
We were not on a break. We just were in an argument. He seems awesome. So he got my number because I had changed my number. So he got my number and from somebody else. He ambushed me on a 3-way call. So somebody else called me that he knew, and I answered, and then they put him on the line. He ambushed me, and he called me to tell me that he was going to propose, and I'm like, I don't know what I was supposed to do with this information, but have a happy life, whatever. And he goes, I just thought that I owed it to you. I should share that information with you because you're the only person I've ever loved. And I'm like, well, that's weird. Because you're getting engaged, so that's not a good sign. But I digress. Have a great one. He goes, and he kept going, and he goes, I really felt like I should tell you because you really were the only person I ever loved. And I'm like, okay, well, have a good one. And then I hung up, and he proceeded to text me and call me, and text me and call me, and a lot of people who reach out for closure are actually, like Brian said, kind of like, does that bother you? How do you feel about that? Before I commit to this person, is there still a chance this is going to happen? Because it's an odd thing to do. Now, if she would have done this months before the wedding, maybe after getting engaged or something, just so you know, I am making a commitment. I would be less angry. Day of wedding, weird time to find closure.
Bad timeline.
Bad timeline.
Checking in from Buffalo Grove was a girl, Chelsea, saying, I don't like the idea of being nostalgic for an ex. You aren't with them for a reason, and Kenzie's right. Why do you need to make sure to text your ex on the wedding morning? That's from Buffalo Grove. Thank you. We want to hear from you. 312-591-8300. Call now if this happens to you, what you believe in the situation. Texting an ex on the morning of your wedding to say goodbye to move on. Who's right? Who's wrong? What do you think?
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Kenzie's Crimes on the way in about 10 minutes. We'll get there. Another super spooky drama murder of the Chicagoland area that Kenzie gets into. We're talking about a woman that texted her ex on the day of the wedding saying goodbye to kind of get closure on a past relationship. On her wedding day, they get on the honeymoon, and the husband, her now says, forget it, we're going home after one day because of this. Very mad. And I'm curious in your situations, a lot of people texting in, but let's go to the phones on this situation because we have Aubrey checking in from Indiana. Aubrey, ahoy. Tell us your story.
Hi. So my name is Aubrey. Basically, I have an ex who has been still messaging, not me, but messaging my mother. And we broke up 3 years ago.
You text your mom?
My mom, yes. So I don't know. So it's just weird for me to see people need closure years after being together or being with somebody else. And the weirdest thing about this is him and I broke up 3 years ago, but we were dating in high school. I'm 25 now. We broke up when I was 22, started dating when I was 15. And he still messages my mom and tells her oh, I know if I didn't put her through all of the stuff I put her through, then her and I would still be together. And the gag is he has a new girlfriend.
Whoa.
And he tells my mom, she doesn't like that I'm messaging you and still being connected to you and in a way, still connected to Aubrey. And honestly, I hope she's listening right now because, she made him unfriend my mom on Facebook. And then he went out of his way to message my mom and say, hey, just in case you saw I unfriended you, my girlfriend made me do it. I didn't want to, but it's the craziest thing.
Oh my
Girl,
God.
I'm going to be honest with you. As a woman who's been cheated on a lot, you should tell this girl. Girls need to have each other's backs because she probably thinks the problem solved, whatever. She really deserves to know the kind of messages this man is sending. You should just be like, hey, I don't want no smoke. I'm super happy. You need to know what's going on, girl, so you don't waste your time. Because if we need to do that as each other for girls, because if the men aren't going to have our back, well, we need to have each other's backs.
Yeah, well, I mean, and the craziest thing is, this was the guy that, cheated on me the entire time that we were together.
Oh, my God.
but like the thing is, he's like such a manipulator. I'm just like, I want to reach out to her, but then I look like the crazy ex. He'll spin it that way. I'm the crazy ex because there were other girls that reached out to me that tried doing the same thing. So it's like, I kind of feel like I want to message her and reach out to her and stuff, but that would just cause an entire, he's got a couple screws loose, and I kind of, I'm like, where I'm at right now.
Oh, you're kidding.
You're crazy until you got screenshots, and then you're right.
That's right. Listen,
Yeah.
here's what you do. Set up a lunch with that girl to tell his girlfriend, and then invite him to lunch. And
No,
then
don't do that.
No.
That's not. Listen, don't do that.
Step one.
No, then we'll be there. We'll be there at another table. You tell us what's going to happen, and we're going to sit next to you, me, Kenzie, and
You
Case.
should just record it the whole time or something. Honestly, that'd make for primetime TV.
Well,
Oh my
duh. Sounds perfect. You let us know when you're going to set that up, and we'll be there.
Yeah, I'll let you know before I do it. I promise.
Well, listen, you hold strong there, Aubrey. Thank you for sharing your story. We appreciate you.
No problem. You guys have a great day.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q 101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q 101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Remember some Tom Segura tickets for the Madhouse for the United Center coming up at the end of music and entertainment news. Well, let's start with Kid Rock, because why not? Kid Rock apparently threw a tantrum at the Bon Jovi bar in Nashville, which is on Broadway. If you've ever been down there, all those bars you hear about are on one strip down there. And a lot of celebrities, like Kid Rock, has his own place. He was at Bon Jovi's place in Nashville. Now,
Kid Rock's place is actually pretty fun. I've been there.
Oh, I love it. My brother and my mom live down there. Whenever I get a little break, someone's taking a nap, I'm like, I'm going to skip out and go to Broadway for a little bit and get my drink on and,
Spend $800 on enough to get you drunk at Broadway.
Whatever it takes. This is the life I chose.
That's the spirit, whatever it takes.
So he's down there in Nashville, and he stormed off stage. So it was a surprise for Bon Jovi keyboardist Dave Bryan's birthday at his own bar. So I'm setting the stage for what happened here. Should have been a nice night. But Kid Rock then gets up to perform. A lot of other celebrity people got up there. And this is the actual audio of him storming off stage. So he started to sing that old song, Proud Mary, from Creedence Clearwater Revival, and Tina Turner did it too, made it famous with the whole dance routine and everything.
Okay.
So he started to sing that song, and I listened to this audio. The crowd sounds decent. They're cheering a little bit, but I don't know, it wasn't enough, and I can't tell if Kid Rock is hammered here or not.
Well, it's Kid Rock.
Context clues.
You guys judge. Here's the audio.
Proud Mary, we're doing G. Yeah, live the job in the city. Working for, no, wait, hold on. Let's do like a little. Live a good job in the city. Working for the man every night and day. But I never saw the side of the city till I
It's a little longer than I thought to do for him storming off stage.
big wheels keep on turning. And proud men keep on burning. If you ain't gonna clap, we gonna sing. That's how it's gonna work. Don't get too fast. I was rolling, rolling down the river. Yeah, I seen a lot of tank down in Memphis. Pumped a lot of tank down in New Orleans.
It's a lot longer than I thought.
Oh, my God.
I never saw good side of the city till I heard some
Oh, they were clapping okay.
You know what? You ain't gonna clap?
Jeez.
So there was a minute and a half of that. It was a little longer than I thought. I apologize.
I feel like everyone was clapping and cheering a lot.
I thought so too. I get it. Maybe he said like, if you're not going to clap, we're going to get out of here. Fine.
Which, by the way, loser behavior if that's your motto. But go ahead.
Well, also, if I'm in the crowd, I'm not cheering you, calling me an effing idiot for not clapping. I might start clapping, but I'm not going to cheer that statement, which people did at that point. And then they did start clapping, like Kenzie said. They were clapping along, and I think they were pretty good.
People were singing and screaming. Like, he was so happy.
Yeah. And then he left on keyboardist for Bon Jovi's birthday in their own bar.
On the most important day of the year.
For his life, anyway.
And don't you feel like the girl singing's like, I don't know if I just finished the song. You left her and quit the predicament.
Yeah, she's sitting there. What do I do now? Finish it?
Yeah.
And she was
Finish
good.
it.
Yeah, she was really good. So there you go. We'll never know if this gets happen, if there's a redo of this or anything, or what happened to Kid Rock.
Well, now we know if you go to a Kid Rock concert, you have to scream the entire time if you want to see him.
And you better clap on beat, or he will leave.
There's a lot of directions.
I saw Kid Rock, of course, played a lot of Q101 back in the day, the old jamborees, which were incredible. He was a fun interview. He's great. And I remember the House of Blues. It was Stained and Kid Rock, the first time they ever played Chicago when Bowl God was the first song back in April of 99. Holy cow, it's a long time ago. But what a show it was. It was incredible. And he never told me to clap along with Bowl God. I'm the Bowl God, you know?
Yeah, no, I'm familiar. You don't need to break it down for me, boss.
So he changed a little bit. I don't know. Don't tell me to clap. I can do what I want if I'm at the show. I don't have to clap along. I don't like clapping. It hurts my hands eventually. And I want to
get itchy. Your hands get itchy when you
Yeah.
clap a lot.
I'm usually holding the drink, too. I wasn't supposed to put the drink down to clap. I want to drink my beer. I want to eat some cheese sticks or something.
God, how do you make it to day to day carrying these burdens and these problems?
You sound so belligerent right now. I mean, clapping, drinking a beer. Leave me alone.
I just don't feel like clapping. It's like how I don't want to do it.
You know what? Kid Rock was right. If Brian was in the crowd, I'd walk off the stage.
I'd be going, kid, no, I'm eating a mott stick. Give me a minute. I'll clap in a second. All right.
Pain in the ass.
Also, some tragedy happened in Scottsdale with some other big name people, like Vince Neil of Motley Crue. His private plane crashed on a runway and allegedly hit Vince Vaughn's plane.
What?
It sounds like an Onion headline. And tragically, the pilot died. It was landing, and the plane skidded, hit Vince Vaughn's plane, then hit another plane, a parked one, and crashed. And then the pilot got killed. Vince Neil was not on the plane of Motley Crue. But his girlfriend was, and she got her ribs broken, and she had a friend on the plane, too. So there's some people hurt, and it's just another plane crash. Seems like there's a whole bunch in the last 2 weeks.
I have never been nervous to fly, but I'm starting to feel that way. Like, what's going on with the Sky Guys? I thought we had that kind of nailed down.
There was no crash for 14 years. And now they had D.C., Philly.
Alaska.
There was one in Alaska no one talked about.
And I don't understand that one. Not that we need to rank our tragedies, but that one was every bit as tragic as the other two plane crashes that started the year. And it's like we're burnt out on plane crashes. We can't even talk about the Alaska one, which is terrifying.
Also, there was those wings that caught on fire, and everyone had to evacuate
That's
the
right.
plane.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell is happening?
I don't know.
I'm sure it's fine.
Anywho, vacation.
Yeah. Broadway, Nashville.
Yes.
Go party. Finally, yesterday at this time, we talked about the Super Bowl halftime show extensively. If you missed yesterday's show because you had the Super Bowl flu, like 22 million other Americans, you can listen to our podcast. We went over everything with the Super Bowl you can imagine. Of course, an audio that you need to hear. It's on our podcast, the Brian and Kenzie podcast. Just download it wherever you get your podcast. Talking about the halftime show, incredible performance from Kendrick Lamar. But a lot of people hated it. A lot of people loved it. Go on social media. I'm sure it polluted your timeline. Now, all I said was that I like a collab. I love when artists from different genres get together and do something for the Super Bowl. It's a big deal. And I just threw out, maybe if Disturbed got up, our homeboys Disturbed with Kendrick Lamar. That would have been fun. And Kenzie and Case didn't agree with me, but I went ahead in the Beat Laboratory last night, and I thought I'd put together a little mashup of what it could have sounded like at the halftime show with Kendrick Lamar and Disturbed.
Wicked or weakness. Yeah. Bitch, sit down. Be humble. Sit down. Be humble. Sit down. Be humble. Sit down. Be humble. Bitch, sit down.
for a thank you over here.
You're not going to get one.
I loved it. Thank you for bringing joy into our lives, Brian. Talk about something you didn't know you needed. What Disturbed to play the Super Bowl halftime show now?
With Kendrick Lamar.
Naturally.
It's got to be a collab.
It's like Jay-Z and Linkin Park all over again.
That's a big compliment. Thank you.
You sound like you just won an Emmy.
I want to thank God, my agent, and my teammates. Thank you, Steve Mandel. Kenzie wants a longer version. That's what I heard earlier.
No.
You said
That's not what I said.
you couldn't appreciate this part of it. You want the whole thing.
I said that you shouldn't have used the gag sound over and over and over again because that just sounds like someone's choking. Like it needs the what you should have done in the exact time frame is used more. I don't know. Disturbed should have progressed.
Oh, this is 25 seconds. It's a little taste. We call this wetting your beak on the beats.
Yeah.
So I'll
My
produce.
beat is soaked. Thank you.
I will make a longer version for you. I'll call you at 10 o'clock tonight and play it over the phone to you.
Okay, perfect.
Is that cool? Let me know what you think at 312-591-8300. Calvin says, someone take Brian's computer away, please.
Amen.
Not going to happen. Sorry. Listen, if I listen to critics, nothing would ever get done.
That is true.
I mean, the whole show, nothing would ever get done. All right, 312-591-8300. Call now. Caller 10 gets to go to the United Center to see Tom Segura. That's going to be a hilarious show. March 1st. Tickets are on sale now. Our great friends at Jam Productions help put this on and give us these tickets to you. So call 312-591-8300 right now for the tickets to see Tom Segura with Brian and Kenzie on Q101.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Lauren on the way in. Remember, with the blizzard coming in tomorrow, if you don't go into work, we're always available to you on the Q101 app, the iHeartRadio app, our smart speaker, your desktop at Q101.com. So if you're not in your car, you still can be a part of the party. Takeaways from today's show. Case, what do you got?
773 checked in. First-time texter. They get it. Welcome to the party. Their takeaway, I need to go back to the 90s and rob a bank.
That's pretty good.
Well said.
Time machine stuff is awesome. If it's just why isn't that not available?
Oh, we're too busy working on AI.
In theory, that should get us there because
in theory.
in a couple of weeks you're watching the Terminator. You're gonna
right.
learn. You're gonna learn.
Once I get through rom-com week this week. Hard pivot.
Do we know what you're watching, by the way, this week for Valentine's Day?
We
Kenzie?
are. Go ahead, Kenzie.
Well, you knew my vote. Did you pick my vote?
Pretty Woman.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
We'll do Pretty Woman.
Yeah, you should do that.
Okay. All right.
It's my favorite.
That's settled.
The alternate ending I'll talk about when you do that. It wasn't good.
Okay.
The
Oh,
al-
he doesn't know the first ending yet, so can it?
I will. I'll hold on to it. Hold
Yeah,
on
put
to
it. Put it away.
Kenzie, what do you got for takeaways?
Take away. How about playing some Mariah Carey up in this bitch?
You want to check under my nuts, too?
And finally, takeaway, Blagojevich, son of a bitch. He's in it for the money, not the Senate seat.
Jonas, son of a bitch.
Who is that, honey?
Jonas Miller, he's a night crawler. We all start out in the same lab, but Jonas went out and got himself some corporate sponsors. He's in it for the money, not the science.
Oh, it's fun to play the full version now and then.
That made my day. That was awesome.
What's on the podcast case?
Well, Marcus Jordan is at it again. If Kenzie's takeaway did not make sense, go back to the 7 a.m. podcast because Marcus Jordan is once again wilding in the streets.
You want to check under my nuts, too?
Thank you, Marcus. This morning, Brian caused widespread panic with the fact that makes your brain go boom. You can check that out if you want to be scared for your life. And also, a bride did something on the morning of her wedding. We talked about that at 7:50 this morning. What she did will stun you. It divided the show. It divided our crew members. That conversation is on the Brian and Kenzie podcast.
It's divided America. It's 9:41. Lauren's coming in and get our podcast anywhere you get your podcasts.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.